You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now, being broadcast in over 30 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I am Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 151 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at WNS Podcast, and for the main site, WN Source.
Also on Stitcher, and if they email you asking if you want to give us a rating, please go ahead and do that.
There you go. So welcome to the show. And yeah, we certainly would
even if they don't, just go ahead and do it.
Any kind of feedback on Stitcher would be great. We did get some Stitcher feedback on last week's episode that we did not get to. Unfortunately, we didn't check it. So we apologize to Alan Garcia saying, "Love the show, guys. I've been listening for a few months after John David Guerra tweeted about y'all. Keep up the Total Diva segment with the intro. I don't watch the show, but I enjoy Tyler and Doug's descriptions of the episodes." So thank you very much for listening. We certainly appreciate it. Glad that you checked it out after John recommended us. So thank you, John. I know you're listening,
Thanks, John.
So we do appreciate that as well.
John's a great guy.
So yeah, good stuff. So we really appreciate any and all feedback that we get. We might not cover it or we might not get to it, but you know, one way or another, we do appreciate it.
Yeah.
We do see some stuff like that.
We are very appreciative.
Yes. So welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about. Survivor Series, Raw, some Total Divas, Hot Topics, Q&A. How you guys doing?
My stomach hurts.
Oh, your stomach hurt. Why does your stomach hurt? All that guacamole you ate?
Nah, it's been hurting all day.
Oh, that's not good. Doug, how are you doing?
All the food I eat.
I'm okay.
Yeah, bearing the weather, that cold front that we
Bear
got.
in the weather.
Yep.
No fun. Sorry about that. It sucks.
Should be.
Okay. So,
Fucking baby.
Hey, how are you doing?
thank you. I'm doing very well, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not, can't complain too much, so it's not too bad. Taking it one day at a time. Pretty good.
There you go.
So, I'm healthy for the most part. Could lose a few pounds, but other than that, good. So, yeah. So we'll dive on into some of the feedback that we got. This one's coming to us from, most of this coming from YouTube, so thank you very much for contributing. We do appreciate it. First one coming to us from Junior Rocks 2012, saying, I watched Raw Country, and I thought the 12-man tag team match was the only thing that got viewers, and I will be watching Survivor Series this Sunday only for Survivor Series matches and the WWE Championship match. Also, first-time viewer, and I totally agree with the one talking about Cena hate argument.
Oh, thanks.
So
Cool.
There you go. Someone agreeing with you there, Doug. So not too bad. Next one coming to us from Curtis saying, John Cena, in my opinion, needs to turn heel. Most of the fans hate him anyway, so let's give everybody a reason to hate him. Like, serious, I can't stand the fact that as soon as he returns, he gets a title shot and wins right away. Like, what's wrong with the writers? What's the matter, Tyler?
Nothing.
Was the way that I was reading it wrong?
Huh? I don't know. Something's off.
Something's off.
Oh, what's up?
You think something's off?
I don't know. I'm just looking at you guys giggling over there. I'm like,
He's
what's going
giggling.
on?
I'm trying to.
I'm out of the loop. I'm on this side.
I'm trying to read what's going on. So.
I disagree about the Cena heel turn stuff. He's already a heel to the people he needs to be heel to.
Yeah.
And turning him is only going to make those people cheer him, I believe.
Yeah.
And make the other half that are currently cheering him
all the
boo
kids.
him. It's just going to flip it.
Yeah.
It'll stay 50-50. It'll just flip. The people who are booing are going to cheer, and the people who cheer are going to boo.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
in fact, he's almost the only person, even though it's 50-50, he seems like the only person who can get legit heat. And it's not actually for his character, but at least he's getting like legit heat, I guess.
Or it is for his character, but they hate what his character represents.
Right, but like he's not getting like heat as like he'll work. He's just getting like the only legit heat out there.
Right. So, I don't know. I think what it is that, I feel like his matches as well as everyone else's, but they become very repetitive, but I guess they're just tired of it's sort of the same outcome no matter what kind of match he's in. Like the only way he's lost cleanly was to, Daniel Bryan, The Rock. It's a very short list of how many people he's lost to cleanly, where if he does lose, it's, some sort of interference, someone took advantage of something, and it's a big deal to go over Cena because, he is the top guy. But, it's sort of like the Survivor Series match. Did anyone actually think that Cena was going to lose? Did anyone think that Del Rio was going to win? It's like, not really, no.
I think we thought the month he came back, it was a possibility.
Yeah.
Previous month. I don't think anyone thought that last month. And I accept overexposure as a legit criticism. I accept I'm just tired of him being on top as a legit criticism.
Yeah.
I don't know that I accept repetitive matches because I feel like the house style of the Fed in general is that everyone has a format. And
right.
I think that I don't know. I think I could call a Daniel Bryan and a CM Punk match as easily as you could call a Cena match. Meaning seeing
like
the
running
coming.
knee into a clothesline,
Right.
going up top, dropping the elbow, getting ready for go to sleep. The guy ducks out of the ring or something. You
Right.
know? And then he suicide dives out to the ring. But I think what it is,
I understand
is
that they aren't as overexposed as Cena is, and that's a problem for some people.
yeah.
And I think that's fine to say.
But it's like if CM Punk is in a match against someone, unless it's like
He's going to throw like 4 swinging neck breakers.
No. Like if CM
I'm
Punk
making
were
a joke about
yeah. But if like CM Punk is in a match with Heath Slater, odds are Heath Slater's going to lose. But if you put him up against someone like Brock Lesnar, if you put him up against someone like The Rock, The Undertaker, you don't really know how it's going to go.
I don't know that you could say that how a Cena Lesnar match was going to turn out.
Well, no. But
or even a Triple H. I don't know that you could say that that's a clear winner either.
Yeah, Triple H has a problem with that. But I don't know. It's just it goes back to the discussion that we've all had about there aren't enough top players in the WWE right now.
I'll agree with that.
It's like you're either Cena, Orton, or you're miles below everyone else.
I don't know that that's fair. I think Punk and Bryan have certainly broken through to that level.
Well, yeah.
I won't say that they're like 1As or anything, but I mean, I think they're in the discussion, and I think that that's more than we could say for a while now.
Yeah.
I think Bryan and Punk have both clearly broken into the top level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's much question about that. Maybe you wanted to see Bryan stick around longer. I think that's a fair criticism, but I think his time is coming still. And I don't necessarily agree with how they ousted him from it, but I think he's clear that he's on the level.
Yeah.
And that whether they want to put him there or not, I know that they know that
he's eventually going to get there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it is a little bit of overexposure and the fact that his character hasn't really developed a whole lot in the years, like a lot of characters, don't develop, but I think it's because, this is the top guy. You would expect a little bit more of a change than most. I mean, well, I can take that back because Austin didn't change who he was. The Rock didn't really change who he was. But it's just, I don't know. He's been the top guy for, close to 10 years now. And it's just, I think people just want something different.
I think that's completely fair. You're just sick of seeing him. And I think that's a fair criticism.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for this to devolve into another scene.
Yeah.
Which we always
we
seem to
always
have.
end up going back here. But it's not necessarily that I'm sick of seeing him. It's just I'd like something new from him.
That's fair.
So, I can totally agree with.
I felt like he's come
some
back with a
fans.
little bit more edge since he's come back from the injury.
Yeah. And it's given him something to play off of. It's like, okay, I've got to protect my arm a little bit. I've got to be cautious about what I do, but I'm still going to go out there and fight.
Not just that, but I feel like in attitude and how he's carrying himself, I feel like he's carried himself a little bit different. since returning from injury.
He goes into his old not fully rapper character, but you know what I mean, like how he talks sometimes.
Yeah.
He'll go back into it.
I mean, it seemed out of character. Well, we'll get to that when we get to the stuff happening. But,
Okay. But
I mean, we can cut it there. We don't need to go deeper into the Cena discussion.
But yes.
I really don't mean for that to happen every week. When people say something, I'm like, oh, well, it's just natural to respond.
Yeah. And, for Cena's name to be thrown about that way for so long, it still says something about his career.
I'm not like pushing an agenda. I just like, it feels like, I guess we get like new viewers and or new listeners, excuse me, and they pick up on the Cena talk and it like drags us back into the Cena talk or whatever. But whatever. We appreciate you taking the time to write in.
Yeah, thank you very much, Curtis. We got some feedback from the King Trig saying, I like Psych. So there you go, Tyler. You got at least one person to watch Psych with. So
Come on over, we'll watch it.
I'm not sure how to pronounce this next one. AKM?
I think it's Occam.
Occam?
I believe.
Ramen? Saying, I think the biggest problem with the WWE is the creative team. There are no major charismatic heel character left. Everyone except Cena and Bryan live in a gray area that drives me crazy. They miss so many great opportunities to mindfuck everyone at Survivor Series. That moment when Punk was standing right behind Bryan when they did the Bray Wyatt tease was an opportunity to do a great unexpected Punk heel turn. Yeah, not peel.
Heel turn.
Yeah. Cena could have heel turned by joining the Authority and helping Orton defend. Would have made the internet wrestling community simultaneously jizz their pants. With Reigns pretty much turning face at the series, there is a massive imbalance. They could have gone with a WrestleMania build-up of Ambrose versus Wyatt, Punk versus Bryan, Orton versus Reigns, Cena versus Big E, and Rhodes versus Goldust, Cody Rhodes. The Cena sucks chants are idiotic. I'm not a Cena fan. To me, he is a solid performer. The hate is centered around his stale character. If you disagree, put the Cena-Punk match from Raw a couple months back against any of the slow deaths that were the Punk Ryback matches.
I think there's a lot of fair points in there.
Yeah.
I agree with some. I disagree with some as far as him saying Cena he could have. I'm not a guy. I think it's cool if you want to be swerved and surprised, but I'm not. For me, it needs to mean something. I don't care I don't care. Like just me not seeing it coming is not enough for me. I want it to be justified by the characters and the actions. I don't care if you surprise me just for the sake of surprising me. I would rather. I'm a guy who it's all about the journey, not necessarily the destination. So if I see the destination full on from now, it's fine as long as the journey's fun. I don't care if you surprise me or not, as long as we get there in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Punk stuff turning as well, like I don't necessarily see a motivation for him turning, which is fine. Like if you want to be surprised, that's great. But
and
I don't see a motivation.
The way they had set it up towards the end of that match, and we will talk about the match. Yeah. I was kind of half expecting something as well. I was like, why is he staying in that particular way? Like, is something going to come from this? But it didn't, and I'm fine with it. And I feel like the Punk heel turn would have been a bit too soon since he just returned, just a few months ago, and he just came back from being heel. So he's doing the face roll right now. So
yeah, I don't care about like how long it's been between. I'm not discrediting what you say. I'm just saying personal preference is not that he was just a heel for a while or he was just a whatever my personal preference is I don't want to see it because I don't see a motivation for Punk to turn heel right there. They've both been having run-ins with the Wyatts, so it makes sense for them to team together. I don't need you to swerve me just for the sake of swerving me. I don't know that maybe he's speaking to a larger point of having like main event level heels. I think that's a separate issue. I think we can get there without. I think we can get there and have it make sense. So we don't need to jerk people around just to for the sake of surprising. I don't know. Thanks, Arkham. Appreciate you winning.
Yeah. Oh, and he also said, and Cesaro versus Undertaker, and please, for God's sakes, whoever is in charge of the cameras, stop zooming in and out on the Cesaro swings. So
it can make you
I
nauseous.
think they do that shaky cam shit on purpose now. It's like
it's there to emphasize the attacks, and so you can't...
I think like when guys are guys have a tendency to work really light and not weigh their shots in when they're doing that like group beatdown type stuff. And so I think they do that on purpose to make it like not look so.
It's all chaotic.
Right.
It's all hell's broken loose, and we can't tell what's going on. And
to cover weak shots.
Yeah, because sometimes on the hard cam, it's like, man, I don't know. To me, like Big Show's knockout punch, it looks just insanely weak. That's just my personal opinion. Like, I know Big Show is strong, no doubt about that. If he were to punch me in the face, I'd probably go down. But the way that he does it, it
might not have a face.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have a face. There'd be nothing there anymore. But like the way that he does it, it looks like he just tags him. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it doesn't look that powerful. I'm sure maybe to like a boxer or something like that, it'd be like, no, that can be a serious hit. But
I think speaking to your problem, I think it's a jab and not like a wind up like type thing.
It's not a haymaker.
Yeah, he's not throwing a haymaker. He's throwing a jab, which I don't want to get jabbed by the Big Show for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
but I don't have as much of a problem with his punches because there's a variety of styles of punches, obviously, and I don't like the guys who do the open hand slap thing on the the throat thing, where it's like, how Rock does he throws hard, but but you can see him open his hand and like hit like right here. Mm-hmm. I don't like that, and I don't like the guys
right on the collarbone.
Yeah, I don't like the guys who like obviously like don't connect at all and show while he's not throwing it full force. It's just a jab, but that fist you see it where where he would actually punch you. So I have less of a problem with his than some other guys.
I mean, he does make contact,
right?
And you don't want to leave a shiner or anything like that. So you don't want to go back.
Nobody
to the
wants
locker
him to
room
fucking
and be like,
punch him.
dude, why'd you tag him? And be like, well, my fist is the size of his head. Right. If I lay into it, then he's going down. I mean, but like when he delivers his chops in the corner, it tells shh, slap. I feel like he hits harder doing that. But
he does, but that's because it's the whole William Regal thing of where Regal always says, I hit people very hard in very safe places. Like you can safely chop someone and make it look a lot better than he could punch you in the face and make it look good.
Yeah.
It's like if you're hitting him in a safe spot, you can make it look like $1 million because it's not going to hurt them. I mean, it may sting or whatever, but like it's not going to like be an injury.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, what are your thoughts on Cesaro versus Undertaker? That'd be an interesting.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, I think we talked about that a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So, but thank you very much to everyone for your feedback. We do appreciate it. So yeah, let's dive on into what happened. Survivor Series this past Sunday, you got the kickoff match between Miz and Kofi with a 6-day build. Didn't really have much from it. Started off with a handshake, ended with an attempted handshake and a slap to Miz's face. But Miz ends up defeating Kofi. Anything to really take away from the matchup? No?
Not really.
I enjoyed their matchup on Raw more than I enjoyed the kickoff match. But I was kind of in and out of the Survivor Series because I had to work. But I know you guys got to check it out as well. But we kick off Survivor Series with Triple H and Stephanie coming out saying there will be no physical interference in any of the matches. And they like to express that. Nothing physical will interfere during the matchups. There will be no physicality interference. So
basically just telegraphing.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, something's going to happen. We're not going to tell you what. So, but that takes us into the first match.
Like when they're like, when a guy's like had the belt for a long time, or they're playing up like how long he's been champ or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Oh, he's
wink.
dropping
Something's gonna happen.
He hasn't submitted in 72 weeks. Oh my God, he submitted. This is unprecedented. So he's Mexico's greatest export. What's up? So, anyways, the first matchup, 5-on-5 Survivor Series matchup. You got the Shield and the Real Americans going up against Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and the Usos. Great opening matchup. Just get the crowd excited. All the talent involved put on a really good show. I know we've talked about this in the past about, the faces getting the upper hand early and often, and sort of just like messing with the heels. But I'm glad that the heels came back and ended up winning, defying the
I thought
odds.
it was going to be. Me and Doug were talking about this because I think it was last year where all the heels got eliminated. None of the faces got eliminated. It was really weird, and I thought they were going to go down that same path.
Yeah,
but I mean, I like the way it happened. They made they made Roman Reigns look damn good, and
beast
all that stuff.
mode.
Yeah, but I was into what Doug said. I wanted to see some Cesaro versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he would have been swinging them for forever. But yeah, I thought this match was a really good opening. It was a very solid matchup. When it came down to just Rollins and Reigns, throughout the matchup, I was going, man, this is why they were the tag team champions for so long. They have bonded so well as a tag team. They do really good work. Then Rollins eventually did get eliminated, leaving Reigns to pick up the pieces and secure the victory, which was awesome to see those spears, especially the one to Mysterio, which was sickening. But what did you guys think about the matchup?
Very entertaining. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good match, but it was odd storytelling to say the least.
Yeah.
I liked the ring work. But I did not. I didn't care for the story they decided to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And it was structured a little bit weird too. Basically, with the first half, the babyfaces running roughshod over the heels, and they had the early advantage. Which I don't want to nitpick too much. I do honestly believe that it's hard to cheer on the babyfaces when they have an advantage like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of like halfway through, they kind of like transitioned into like a Roman Reigns like fest. I don't know how I would describe it, but
the spear fest.
Yeah, it would. To me, it's just like a really odd storytelling because to me, it's a very babyface story to tell. And I know people talk about all the time how they want like gray motivation. They want it like real world, whatever. Face heel dynamics are very important to me, and I think it's very important to pro wrestling in general. Mm-hmm. And I think the story they decided to tell with Roman Reigns was very much a babyface story. To me, how that story resonated with me was this guy whose back was against the wall, who was outnumbered and outgunned, and he was just throwing bombs, hoping to connect to stay alive. And he did, and he connected, and he stayed alive. And he actually, to me, it was just like babyface defying the odds. Like he was being bullied, and his back was to the wall, and he was just doing everything he could to stay alive. He's throwing shots in the dark and just lucking out and connecting. And that's how the story resonated with me. Mm-hmm. And it's very odd when you have like, especially when you've got like Goldust and Ray, who are both super over, and they have the numbers advantage on him, and like they're cheering the crowd on, like, come on, like you have the advantage, like that, like you're cheering, you're in a position of power, and you're trying to, they're doing their jobs, right?
The two veterans were giving the rub to the up and comer.
Well, no, I mean, but like, I don't know how they did it. I mean, assuming because Ray is super over and because Goldust is super over, and they know what they're doing, they know how to make it work. But it's very odd to see them like trying to rally the crowd around it when they have the advantage.
We just have to eliminate one. We're two. Come on,
Because why it's such a babyface story for me, and why it doesn't resonate like well with me when you tell that story with Roman Reigns is because, like, I know people people keep saying they're so tired of it, but what stirs my emotions and what makes me want to cheer, I can sit there and appreciate good ring work, and I'd be like, they had an excellent match, those guys did well, but that doesn't make me want to cheer or invest. Like when I see a guy who's like fighting against the odds, that's what I don't want to cheer the guys who are like kicking a dude while he's down and they're bullying him. Like I'm invested. I'm like, I want to cheer for the guy who's underdog, and I don't think that's the story you're supposed to be telling with Roman Reigns right now. I get that they're high on the kid. I get that they think he's a big star.
His time will come.
But is this the place? They haven't shown any inkling of like he disagrees with the values of the Shield and like wants to make up for his past, like injustices, for lack of a better term. Sorry, that was really cheesy. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of another word. But they haven't shown any inkling of. They showed a tease of dissension, but it was only over the fact that Ambrose was like, "Ha, I got my belt, and you guys don't."
Yeah.
And that makes me. But that's the last thing they did. They haven't shown me like a reason why he needs a good a babyface showing here. Like, I don't think this was the time for it. I think you can get here another way. And I get that they wanted to let the kid have a hot match, but
Right.
it didn't work for me because the match itself was good. Technically, the moves in the ring technically was a good match. I didn't like this. I don't know. I just didn't think that's the story you tell with Roman Reigns in that particular situation. Did he eliminate 4 or all 5?
4.
Okay.
4.
So
wait a minute.
We thought
we thought he eliminated everybody.
Yeah, we thought
No,
he
he eliminated 4.
Who eliminated the other person?
I mean, it's not.
I think it was Seth Rollins.
Okay.
But I'll double check.
Oh, you
But
know,
it's-
it was Rollins because he got the curb stomp
Yeah.
and then he got the
Yeah. And also it's like, I feel like, hey, guess what? Okay, the faces just eliminated your guys or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you would technically, or not technically, but you would see like the Hills get, like one of their guys back, or maybe another guy, and then,
Go back
the
and
face
forth.
back and forth. And like I said, I really thought they were gonna go down that path like last year, because I know last year I thought that was strange.
Yeah. Here's the order of eliminations. Dean Ambrose was eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Jack Swagger was eliminated by Jey Uso. Cesaro was eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Jimmy Uso was eliminated by Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes was eliminated by Roman Reigns. And then Jey Uso was eliminated by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was eliminated by Mysterio, Goldust, and then Rey Mysterio were both eliminated by Roman Reigns. Going back to kind of what you said about the way they told the story, would you have preferred them to do, say they get, 4-on-1 or even 5-on-1, okay? 5-on-2, sorry, because it was Rollins and Reigns. So the good guys are pumped, they're excited. Yeah, dude, we're gonna sweep this thing, and then Rollins gets the pin on, whoever he eliminated, and the guys are in the corner going, "Okay, that's all right. There's still 4 of us. We can still do this." And then they eliminate Rollins, leaving just Reigns, and so they're, "Yeah, dude, we got this. All right." And then Reigns comes in like a beast, takes out one guy. Oh man, okay. You go in there. He gets taken out. I'd be like, "Oh crap, now there's 2 of us." Would you have preferred them having that overconfidence that they were going to win and then lose that confidence and then be afraid of Roman Reigns?
No, because in my opinion, that's not very overconfidence is not very becoming of baby faces.
Right. Well, I think not necessarily we're going to win, but more like, yeah, dude, high five. We're making great progress as a team.
No, I don't dig that. I get that they like the kid and they want to give him a strong showing on a big pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a way to do that and make it fit with his character and his heel dynamic. I think if you want to make him look like a beast early, you give him a strong run from jump, with him working heat on like all the smaller dudes. Like maybe he takes out, maybe like from jump, like Roman's is the first guy in. He doesn't even tag out. Maybe he gets a couple of guys on his own, but it's just like him like manhandling like dudes, And I think that's fine, because I think when you put the odds against him, to me that's babyface. To me that's like, I'm gonna overcome the odds and I'm throwing bombs. I'm just hoping to survive and lucking out. I think if you from Jump Street you put him in and make him like a big nasty dude who's just brawling and like everybody's working like at least a few minutes of heat from him before elimination. I think that's a better way to tell the story and to still give him the shine you want him to have.
Okay.
It fits better with his character.
Okay. But anyways, Roman Reigns was the lone survivor, getting the victory, which takes us into the next match. Big E Langston going up against Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship. Axel, going for hoping to regain his title that he lost to Big E. Not too bad of a matchup. I thought it was okay. Both guys can work really well. Crowd wasn't really too big into it, but Big E ended up getting the victory and then did sort of a cheap pop for the crowd of Boston. But it was good to see him retain, as many people expected him to. But what do you guys think?
The match didn't do very much for me.
Yeah.
But I did like the post-match promo in the ring where he basically he's a pretty clever guy. He's pretty smart. He's pretty witty. Like, I check him out on Twitter every once in a while. He's always got something like, kind of with it to say. Like when people were giving him like black dude like power names based off of how like of the Goldberg and everything, whatever. And he's like, when people were, what were they calling him, like Rye Black and stuff like that?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, when then someone said like Solberg or something like that, he's like, okay, I can get with that one. Like he's got a good sense of humor about it. He's a pretty witty guy, and
I don't mean to go for the cheap pop, but
I like that he called, like that he's like, I know this is like a cheap pop thing to do, but I'm gonna go for the cheap pop, and like I like that he just called it. He's like, this is a cheesy thing to say. And, he
as cliche as it sounds,
he's obviously a smart guy. He's also obviously like a, he's got a future.
Yeah, he's a well-liked guy with the crowd right now. So, be on the lookout for him to be one of the, I don't know, could you see him being in the top tier?
Maybe later on.
Well, obviously,
I don't know that I don't know that he's got the mic skills.
Yeah, I'd have to see more from that at least.
Yeah, I don't know how great of a talker he is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, he like. I realize I just praised the promo he did, but it's not like it was a great promo. It was just like a witty thing to say.
Yeah.
It's like there's a difference between being an engaging like speaker and like saying something witty off the cuffs.
Yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him. It's good to see a guy like him come up and be like, okay, he might be around for a while.
I'm still not behind Curtis Axel.
Yeah,
but
I don't know where they're going with Curtis, but
good
it's
way
just
to get him out of that, out of that picture.
Yeah,
it's just a rematch.
It's just tough to see because you want all the guys to succeed, but it's just like, man, and especially given the history of his family and all that. So, but anyways, that takes us into the next matchup: the Divas, Total Divas versus Real Divas, or whatever they call themselves. Survivor Series matchup.
In the back. Before
arguing with AJ and why should we trust you and blah blah blah. So match was short. I think they said it went like 12 minutes, and there were 14 people involved in the matchup, so 12 eliminations in 12 minutes. Not
well, it was structured like 2 start, 1 eliminates that person, the person that comes in eliminates the next person. Like they did not
with a clothesline and I'll pin you.
Yeah,
they didn't deviate from that formula. It was like whoever the first person in eliminates the other person.
So,
and they good for JoJo. I want to say that.
Yeah, JoJo getting some in-ring experience.
Okay, was it the Survivor Series match or the rematch on Raw where JoJo was paired with Tamina?
It was both.
She was paired with Tamina both times? Because it just like. It looked like she killed that poor girl.
Yeah, you mentioned.
I'm serious. About that she was like, she looked like she was like gonna break that little girl.
I would be JoJo, and Big Show would be Tamina. Like that's the easiest way to explain.
You also mentioned that during the pay-per-view, all the bumps and all the stuff that she takes. It looked like it hurt her.
Well, she did. Like when you bump, you kind of bounce back a little bit. You're not. I'm not saying you're like bouncing up, but you kind of like.
Yeah.
Whatever. She was just kind of like. Yeah,
it's like landing on concrete or something. Like there's just no give, and
work on that kid.
One thing I did like about the spots that JoJo did is like, they did like the backbreaker onto her, and then Tamina just like slammed her onto the mat after that.
Was it just me, or did you guys think that was she was like?
I was just like, damn.
No, it would look like particularly like vicious,
Yeah. So it was
Tamina's, is she tall? She seems tall, but
she's tall compared to all the other.
Like
divas.
JoJo is like short, right?
Well,
she's short and she's tiny, and like Tamina
she's
was
shorter than AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was definitely an odd pairing, but
certainly. I don't mean that in the sense that Tamina had like no regard for her body or health.
Right.
I just mean like that JoJo is so small, like in comparison, that it looked like particularly nasty whenever she would take a bump. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. So, but anyways, your girls, the Total Divas, Natalia and Nikki.
What?
end up surviving.
Yes, that proves you need to watch Total Divas.
That proves nothing. So, short matchup. Just whatever.
They got confused. Ring announcer
Cole
Yeah,
originally said it was just Natalia that was the survivor.
Nikki.
Completely forgot about her because I guess she was supposed to be eliminated and wasn't. But anyways, next up we get to see Ryback come out with the live mic, which is always interesting. He issued an open challenge, daring any man to come out and face him to a match.
I didn't know nothing about this. I didn't read anything, whatever. Well, I wasn't on the internet looking for stuff like this, but
Right.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
to see Mark
it
Henry.
was a very nice surprise. Mark Henry accepting the challenge, and it's great to see him back. He was looking lean. Doug texted me during that match and was like, "Man, he's been hitting the gym hard."
Dude, like
the smallest he's ever been.
Yeah, he looks like no gut action. It's almost like straight down. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I hate to say it because like I want him to be as healthy as possible, but like almost like Mark, don't lose any more weight. I think you need it for it to like remain menacing. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, he looked great. I'm glad he's doing well.
I
Yeah,
like this. I like the bald head
yeah.
with the beard.
Mm-hmm. It was looking good.
Wanna be?
Rick Ross wishes he were Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Me.
No, I was just saying what Ryback said.
Adding
Yeah.
the old JYD headbutts to the repertoire.
Yeah,
Very
really good
nice.
stuff. So, I thought the match itself was good. It was a nice showing for Mark Henry. Glad he's back.
Guess what?
End up getting the victory and
Another loss for Ryback.
another pay-per-view loss for Ryback.
Who cares?
So
Fuck him.
was-
Mark Henry's back.
You know the thing that you said a while ago for Curtis Axel.
Well,
you want
like,
him to
why
succeed?
would you-
I want to, No, I mean, I am for Mark Henry, but like at the same point, I do want to see Ryback succeed, even though he succeeds, even though that he's not really interesting
Yeah.
to me.
I think the thing is like, why would you pick that spot to give him a win? Like he's already he's
I
at that
understand.
level where he's enough of a name just to make it seem like you went over somebody, but you're not sacrificing his momentum because he has none.
Yeah.
So that's like it was a fine spot for him, and I don't care because fuck him, I don't care. I'm glad Mark Henry's back. I mean,
But by the way, to what we were talking about earlier about Tamina Snuka, she's actually 5'9".
is that tall for a woman?
That's a little. I'd say, an inch
Above
or two
average.
above average. So I think average would be like 5'7", 5'6", somewhere around there.
No idea.
I don't either. Maybe
I don't even know how
5'8".
tall I am.
Yeah, I'm about 6'2". I think Tyler's 6'3", something like that. So not too bad. So, Ryback ends up losing to a returning Mark Henry. That takes us into the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Alberto Del Rio going up against John Cena. Despite what people say, I know we've seen this matchup several times over the past few years. I thought these two put on one heck of a match. I thought it was really good. Despite what people say, yeah, it was the same outcome that we've seen numerous times. Cena gets the victory, but I thought that they did a really good job. What about you guys?
Jesus, I got like a hold on.
Wedgie.
No, talk, Tyler.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember too much from it.
I like it impossible to reach like itch.
Oh, it's just crotch, but
Couldn't get to it from either side.
yeah, I don't remember too much.
Yeah, I thought this was solid stuff from these guys. I don't think it was like a standout match of theirs. I thought it was a high note of the pay per view. I don't think it was like. I didn't think this pay per view was like the car crash that everyone said it was to begin with. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was. I think everyone went in having low expectations, and they felt that, like I said to you in the text message, Doug. The lasting impression is what people take with them. And
you think they went in with low expectations or high?
I do. I think they went in with low expectations, and then the cherry on top, so to speak, was the end of the pay-per-view matchup. And
well, if they went in with low expectations, then they would be easily met. You know what I'm saying?
right, but what I'm saying is like the end of the pay-per-view they thought was even worse than they would expect. And so they're just like, oh, this was just awful. Like I knew it was going to be bad, but come on.
See, I get the impression that they went in with high expectations.
They expect it to be, this is one of your big 4
right.
pay-per-views, so you need to have this caliber. However, you don't. So what's the point?
I mean, was it a classic Survivor Series? No, I don't think it was that. But there was some good stuff on the pay-per-view. I thought the opening match was good. Cena and Del Rio was solid. The Punk Bryan Wyatt tag was good.
Mm-hmm.
The only like real shit on here was like the main and the Divas tag.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Henry would like to return was like a fun little spot. Like what else? There was nothing else bad on the card,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. It's like, the match, it's what they took away at the end because that the main event just left a sour taste in everybody's mouths, and so that's why they're like, oh, it was off. The whole thing was awful. Like, really? The whole thing? The whole exciting, opening matchup between the Survivor Series matchup, the return of Mark Henry,
We were marking out for Mark Henry's return.
So, there was a lot of positive things that came from it. So I don't think it was a bad pay-per-view. It wasn't the best. No. It wasn't great.
No.
But it wasn't, oh my God, this is the worst thing they've ever done. I'm completely done with WWE forever. They suck. I'm only going to order WrestleMania from now on.
Yeah, you got a lot of them
there
like
have
that.
been worse pay-per-views than this. Several.
People just want to shit on stuff.
Yeah, it's either, we've gotten into the point where society now is, it's either epic or it's fail.
Not only is there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, and not only is
and that drives me nuts.
Not only is it one extreme or the other, but it's knee-jerk reaction because the instancy of like, that's not a word. What am I looking for? Like just you being able to give your feedback like instantly on the internet.
Yeah.
Like you're immediately reacting. You don't take the time to think about like what happened. You're just like immediately it was the best ever or it was the worst ever, and I'm putting it on the internet for everyone to see right now.
Right.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying.
It's like take a couple days. Like that's why I'm glad that we have the podcast on like Tuesdays, so that like the pay-per-views can happen. We see how things develop on Monday, and then we can come in and be like, okay, now I see where they're going with this, and this is what they're doing. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But that's why we talk about it. Say, okay, let's get this thing underway. So, but it drives me nuts that everything has to be so instant nowadays. Like, something has to be trending or something is epic or it's, like, it's just, like.
See, that's why I don't really do that's why, like, I kind of wanted to get back on Twitter just because you guys were on Twitter now and like y'all weren't whenever I was on. But like, that's like, I'm not going to like reissue or I just don't want people to follow your thing. At Tyler_Aberg, go follow him. I just think I'm blast. But
he probably forgot his password.
At WNS_Daniel, go follow these assholes.
Hey, thanks.
But anyway, like I'm not gonna live tweet a show. I'm watching a fucking show and absorbing it. Like I'm not like trying to quip a joke or like fucking like whatever. Like
that's what I do on the Facebook page, WNS Podcast.
I look at Facebook when I get a chance, but I don't use Twitter or all that stuff and like hashtag. That is distracting though. Like, hey, this is trending. Look this up, or all this on the internet.
Focus on that much.
Hashtag. Hey, get the app.
Get the app. Download Tout. Tweet us. Do everything except watch our programming. Talk about our programming while you're watching our programming. So you're not really watching the programming, but you're talking about the programming.
Maybe you'd have like a clear vision of what you want to say about something other than it's the best ever or the worst ever.
Yeah.
If you were watching it and not doing like 100 other things.
Yeah. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Anyways, the Cena Del Rio match, pretty good stuff. Not,
It was solid. It didn't suck.
It did not suck. Exactly. So that takes us into the next matchup. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan going up against Luke Harper, Eric Rowan of the Wyatt family.
With a new entrance message.
Well, they had a promo before that.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to hear what he was saying. I was too busy dealing with work.
I forgot what he said.
Anyways, he was talking about the matchup. I'm guessing. So not too bad of stuff. The match itself, exciting as usual. You know,
But I know it's a good showing from both of them.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I really felt like, I don't know. I mean, getting the win doesn't always necessarily mean like to get the win. You know, people say, "Oh, they need to get the win to get over," but sometimes it's the case though too. But it was a good showing, but I also felt like they should have got the win too.
shouldn't have listened in to you guys during the predictions. Should have went with what I originally went with.
We picked the right thing to do. It would have been the right thing to do to put
The right
Wyatts
thing to
over.
do and what WWE does can be two very different things.
Well, look, the match was
Yeah.
the match was good. Obviously, the match was good. Who would think this match would not deliver?
But people said, "Oh, this was a fail. This isn't what we wanted. We wanted Bray Wyatt to be involved too. We got that on Raw." So, more reasons to complain.
Well, look, they're not gonna. They don't fucking like email you and say check all the boxes you want us to put on the fucking show. It doesn't work like that.
No.
Like they're gonna put a lot of shit on a show, and you're gonna like find what you like about the show, and that's for you. And whatever you don't isn't. That's how it works. But I mean, I felt like the Wyatts needed the win here because why did they continue to feud now?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously on Raw, the Wyatts take Bryan away, but like they didn't fuck with Punk. Now Shield takes Punk, so it's like a weird thing, you know.
Yeah. They each want their piece of that team. So,
Strange.
Wyatt, it was a good match, but the Wyatts should have went over.
which was the one with the black beard, Luke Harper?
Yes.
He is impressing me as of late. Like he's been in singles matches. He's doing, just really good stuff. I like when he does a little crocodile roll. I think that's,
Gator roll.
gator roll. Yeah, that too. I don't know. He's a big guy. I don't know why he does the hey kind of thing, but I'm digging it. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. Like, he's a Chikara guy, so you can you can watch a lot of awesome matches between Cesaro and Harper, and yeah,
How's that going, by the way? Gotten any more mysterious mail or
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff always happening. No, I haven't got an email about anything, but
Okay.
but,
No new updates.
tons of updates.
Oh, don't get me started.
Well, you can. I mean, it's like we would have to do a whole show on Chikara if you guys want to talk
Okay,
about Chikara.
we'll do the Chikara special one day.
We can't do that. That's trademarked. We can't do it.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's actually a move, and another blog has that title.
We'll do the I Am Chikara Doug special.
Maybe we'll do it like whenever they.
Doug is Chikara special.
It's good. Just go watch.
Okay.
Well, you can't, but go follow. Go follow along. Go
Look,
follow
man,
along.
just lower your rates, and we'll get some guys to come.
Just give it time. It will
Yeah.
get back together.
It's gone forever.
Hey man,
never
when it
coming
comes
back.
back, I'm hopping on the train.
There you go. So yeah, Punk and Bryan going up against Harper and Rowan. Good match, solid work from both teams, as you would come to expect. Just really good stuff. I'm glad that everyone gets a reaction from the crowd from this group. So Punk and Bryan did get the victory, even though I went against them. Sorry, Punk and Bryan. So, yes,
the right thing to do.
I know.
Or what they did the wrong thing. It would have been the right
It would have
thing
made the most sense for Harper and Rowan to get the victory.
to do. Like, as unhappy as I was about them, like taking Bryan out of the main to do this, I like made sense. It's like if you're gonna get the fucking people, like everyone thinks what the Wyatts do is really cool because it's a cool gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Everyone likes it.
Yes.
So if you want people to boo them, you have to put them against the only people will like more than them. So
Yeah.
it's genius in that way that they're like, oh, if we want people to not like these guys, we have to put someone against them that people like even more. So it's great that they picked Punk and Bryan for the role. It makes a lot
I
of
can just
sense.
imagine them backstage be like, "Hey, let's give the internet something to really like cream about. Let's put Bryan and Punk together."
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Oh, so
Oh, are you touching yourself?
so that takes us into the main event. I guess you can call it that. Randy Orton going up against the Big Show. Just
Not very good.
no, just horrible stuff. Like this could have been a match on SmackDown, and I would have been okay. At least I didn't watch that. So just bad work, bad jobs, bad. Just I didn't like it, didn't enjoy it. Crowd that wasn't into it, obviously, chanting boring and all kinds of crazy stuff, which, the crowd is something completely different that we've talked about several times.
I hate pro wrestling fans. They're the worst.
Well, I mean, at least...
They are the worst. Don't make excuses for them.
There's no cases about it.
Pro wrestling fans are the worst.
We're the worst. So,
you're not the worst.
Triple H and them came out and caused a distraction. They didn't cause any physical interference. So, Orton gets the victory. Big whoop.
Orton's pissed.
Yeah. Throughout the whole night, he was going backstage, talking to people. Hey, man, you got my back. Hey, man, you supporting me? Hey, man.
Ref.
Hey, Ref. Hey, Charles Robinson. Lil Nate. So, anything you guys would like to add to the matchup?
No, I didn't. Well, it didn't do anything for me.
Okay. So, Orton gets the victory. Cena comes out, holds his belt up to say, hey, this is an important title too. And Randy holds his title up and says, well, I've got longer arms because I'm Randy Orton.
He does. That's a shoot, brother. Randy Orton has longer arms.
Yes.
They're not as wide, though.
They're not as wide. So that's how we closed out Survivor Series. Like I said, leaving that bad taste in the mouth of the fans. A lot of fans apparently unhappy from that as well, who were in attendance. So, anyways,
how many people estimate how many people you think you saw on the internet saying worst pay-per-view of the year?
80%. I'd probably say 85, giving it 5 stars or 5 out of 10 or less.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd have to go back to think about to name a show that I clearly thought was the worst show of the year. I'd have to think about it, but it didn't feel like this train wreck abomination that people thought it was.
Like I said, there was some pretty solid matches on this card. It was just that lasting, lingering. It was the aftertaste,
right,
that left people unhappy, and just the matchup itself was just bad. So, but the card itself was okay. Yeah, it wasn't terrible, wasn't great, wasn't but it was all right. So that takes us into Raw, and Randy Orton coming out saying, I've made all of you will respect me now, and
suck it.
Classic, generic heel or promo. Whatever. I proved all of you wrong. Ha 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 ha. I'm the greatest ever of all time. No one can take that away from me. John Cena comes out and says, well, hey, I'm a champion too, and I feel like we only need to have one champion, so I challenge you to a champion versus champion match, and winner takes all. And Triple H is like, that's a great idea. I'm glad I thought of it. Let's make that happen at TLC.
I wonder what's going to happen, if there's going to be shenanigans, or if one person really does win the title. Are they going to have a new title, or it's just going to be the WWE title?
The rumor going around that I heard,
they were very careful to word this very specifically.
Yes,
I know everyone was like unification.
Oh my god!
But you could, if you took you didn't even
have both the belts.
You didn't have to take. You didn't even have to take 5 seconds to think about it. You could tell just by how carefully they were wording things that wasn't exactly the plan.
Champion versus champion, and winner both belts on the line.
They're just gonna have both belts in there.
Yes. And
which is still cool. I mean, that'd be cool to.
And if this actually happens, good lord, what's the point? But there's word going around that both belts will be on the hook. That's given. For the TLC matchup. But there's talks that both competitors will grab a belt and yank it off at the same time. So they'll either have the same belt or they'll have each other's belt.
Oh no. John Cena's the WWE champion. Randy Orton's the world heavyweight champion.
So that would make Cena 15-time champion. Just whatever. Just no. If you're gonna go that route, don't even do the matchup. Just don't. Because I saw someone commented, or it was an article or somewhere, where they're like, we have not had a clean main event finish since SummerSlam, since Daniel Bryan beat John Cena. Like that was it. Since then, like there's been something going on in the main event that has kept us from having a clear, definitive win. And it's like if they're gonna do that, there's gonna be massive backlash. But like, what's the point of having this matchup? They're just gonna do that. It's just,
Sending the fans home like happy is a very real thing, and there's a reason why sending the fans home happy is a thing.
Yes, you need to do it, or at least
you got to do it. You got to do it.
If you're gonna have the heel win, give them a reason to be like, "Oh my God, did you see what happened?"
Right.
You have to have a reason to get the people talking to tune in the Monday after.
Sending the fans home happy doesn't necessarily mean like letting the person they wanted to win. It just means like, sending them out on a good note. Like being happy that you attended their event, giving them some closure to the event.
Yes, closure. Something to be like, what was your favorite part? Oh, the end when such and such happened, or anything. But if they do this. And if we're in Houston for that, I think there might be a riot. Like, I really do. Because people in Houston are crazy, for one, and that would just drive people over the edge.
There may not be enough people to riot in the Houston crowd because I'm going to murder everyone who chants nonsensical bullshit.
Oh, my God.
Here's hoping that we don't sit by anyone who does that.
No. But,
at least, like next to us.
So we're gonna try and go to TLC and
stabbing everybody.
I
got
everybody.
A fucking shank. I'm shanking every motherfucker who acts like an asshole.
That's gonna be a lot of
shank. It will be in his shoe.
So that takes us into the first match on Raw. Shield going up against Cody, Goldust, and Mysterio. Pretty good. Another exciting first matchup. Just like they had Survivor Series, just another exciting matchup. Showcasing Roman Reigns once again.
Yeah, man, that's good. Oops, yeah, that's good because the focus.
You got to start building for the future. So
it's weird though because it's like okay, they came in, they're looking good, and out of the group because they showcased. Well, to me, Dean Ambrose was the main.
He was supposed to be the big guy to come in,
and he's still good. He talks.
Yeah,
and he's not that bad. He's a brawler, but I think more of the focus now is on Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, and that happens. But they celebrated the 1 year of the Shield being in the WWE.
Yeah.
Which for them to come in and do what they've done in the span of a year really says something about these three guys.
Yes.
So
because there's a lot of people that come in and don't even last that long, or they do that and
look at Axel. He hadn't even been around 6 months, and he's off the wayside later. Thanks for showing, But it's just these three guys are gonna do some good for the WWE. It's good to see future.
Yes.
On the horizon, and people are like, don't break up the Shield just yet. I agree with that, because Reigns still has some growing to do, and not in a physical sense, but in his mic work and his ring abilities. He can go through a singles matchup, but he might need a little help. But give him a little more time, and I think he can be one of those top guys. Same with Rollins, same with Ambrose. All three of these guys, you can put them, one day down the road that they can be a top guy.
They are. Definitely.
So yeah, like I said, the future is bright. You got the Wyatt family, you got the Shield, you got all these tag teams that are coming in. Even with Goldust, his revitalized run that he's having right now. It's good because you've got the seasoned veteran with Goldust and Mysterio. They've got the young guys like the Usos, the primetime players, and all these different options that you can have. So the future's still looking bright as far as future stars.
Yeah.
But the Shield did end up defeating Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and Rey Mysterio. So, what do you think about that, Doug?
Yeah, that happened.
It did. So that takes us into the.
In the bathroom, there's an air freshener that has I guess it's Halloween theme.
Oh
there's
yeah.
A hand coming up out of a grave with a grave and stuff, and it says Instead of rest in peace, it says rest in peach on it.
Yes.
Like, that's the sense.
Rest in peach.
Yes, I just decided to share that with everyone.
Thanks. So, so the next segment we got Ms. TV, and he welcomed his special guest, Michael Strahan. And you okay?
No, this segment was so fucking bad. This was like the most awful thing I've ever seen. I was embarrassed to have watched.
Yeah.
They tell me wrong. I love Titus, but
Titus is the only one who like seemed like likable in the segment. Miz came off like a total fucking idiot. Whoever that Strahan guy is came off like a total fucking idiot. Titus is the only guy who came off like a cool, normal guy. And what the fuck? That guy was like, "Step your something about his suit game." Like he had a better suit than that other dude. And like they did like a little bit, like a skit or something. They're like, "Oh, hey."
I'll do a hip toss.
Yeah,
hey. All right, now we're all friends. Let's hug and raise each other.
Like a group bow or something.
Hey.
I don't fucking do
weird.
that. Don't fucking
yeah.
Don't insult me as a fucking viewer. Like I'm willing to suspend my disbelief for a lot of stuff, but I find it fucking insulting for you to say, "Hey, this is our fake little bit in the middle," and then expect me to play along with the rest. Like that's bullshit. Like don't be like, I don't think you could take a hip toss like it's a fucking like it's a, hey, we're doing a bit together, you know, like can you take it or not? Like, no, fuck you, don't do that. That pisses me off.
Yeah, it was cringeworthy. I'm like, what is Titus O'Neil doing? Is he portraying the heel? Like, is he doing a heelish thing by doing this?
I know. It
or
was
like I thought he was supposed to be popular, and now he's doing millions of dollars dances with Michael Strahan, and then he throws him into a hip toss, and it's just
Miz made fun of the sports team they were from. I don't know, whatever fucking sports team, and he's like, "Oh, come on, guys, it was a joke. Yeah, Miz is a fucking heel." Like whatever he said, like, "Oh, Miz is such a heel." Like
Miz is a bad guy.
He said that, and then he said Miz is such a heel. Like he said that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Shut the fuck up, you fucking moron! I don't need this shit. I hate that stuff." It's not like don't fucking do that. Like don't insult me by saying here's some fake stuff in the middle and expect me to play along with the rest.
And scene. Let's rage each other's hands and high five.
it was weird,
Yeah.
and I did not enjoy it.
They really felt like someone said we wrote a little skit for them to do.
Pretty much.
That's
They
what they do.
vowed-
That's what they do with everybody. They have to do a little skit.
Not to that extent.
Okay.
That was like a little mini performance.
More cringeworthy. Divas musical chairs or Ms. TV with Michael
Ms.
Strahan?
TV with Michael Strahan by a long shot. I would rather you guys walking on me masturbating than anybody else have seen me watching that shit. I live alone. Luckily, I live alone and no one saw me. No one busted in on me watching this. But I would much rather have someone walked in on me jerking it than have seen me watch this shit because it was fucking embarrassing. They should be embarrassed to be a part of this shit.
You heard it first.
There you go. Which would you rather see? Ms. TV or Doug jerking off? So,
Don't even fucking lie. You know y'all'd rather see me jerking off than that bullshit.
This is impressive.
this is awkward. So next matchup, we got to see Big E Langston and Mark Henry going up against Curtis Axel and Ryback.
But why'd y'all make it about you? My point was to illustrate like how embarrassing I was just having watched it. That I would rather someone walk in on me jerking it off. Why are y'all making it about like we'd rather see him jerking off for this? You flipped the switch.
Oh, I mean, you threw it
I
out
think it's
there.
funny.
So
I think it was funny.
That's fine. Whatever goes.
okay.
Whoever floats their boat, huh?
Yep. The next.
Never make them touch.
The next matchup, Big E Langston and Mark Henry going up against Curtis Axel and Ryback. I like the team of Big E and Mark Henry. There's, the powerhouses and stuff like that.
I like that he was like kind of like mentoring. He was like, "Come
Yeah.
here, kid." He give him the old like
Noggin.
yeah, that was awesome.
There's like, step off, and shove you shove me. All right, yeah, we're bonding now. Don't hug me.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
I like Mark Henry, little brother, and big ass Big E Langston. He's like,
That's something I wanted to point
Tag
out.
team.
My girlfriend was watching Raw with me, and she was like, "Oh my god! Like I thought Big E Langston was big. Look how small he is compared to Mark Henry."
well, I don't know if I'd say that.
It was noticeable.
Really?
To me, like when she pointed out, I'm like, oh my God, you're right. Like their thighs are about the same size, but like when they're standing next to each other, I'm like, Big E is tiny compared to Henry. Like Henry is huge.
Well, Henry's thick.
Yeah, he is very thick, but it's like, wow, like you see it and you're just okay. So, but Big E and Mark Henry end up getting the victory over Axel and Ryback, who
That was quick.
can't pick up a win. Yeah, it was a squash match, basically, is what it was.
I feel sorry for her right back.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, he's still in hot water with the officials.
I don't care. I'm happy to have Mark Henry back.
Yep. So next up, we got to see a Divas rematch from the Survivor Series. Put your hand down. So
You're wearing jeans. You never wear jeans.
I know. Well, it's been pretty cold, and
I'm wearing shorts.
he's wearing shorts.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying you never wear jeans.
And I was wearing my jacket earlier too.
No.
So
Here's my feet.
cool weather. Look at his feet.
Fuck you.
So we got to see a Divas rematch from the Survivor Series, and Jerry Lawler made the comment, "Oh, if this match is half as good as what it was the Survivor Series," then I made the comment, "It would just be awful." And sure enough, it was awful. This match was terrible. The Bellas and Eva Marie end up being the survivors, but the match was even worse than it was on Survivor Series. Anything, Doug?
I don't think it was as good as the Survivor Series match, but I don't like the Survivor Series match wasn't like dog shit. It was just like too rigidly like structured. It was like,
Yeah.
you get in, like they didn't deviate enough. There was a very strict formula they followed, and that's why seemed so unnatural. But obviously, this wasn't as good as that. But,
Yeah.
I didn't have like major problems with the SummerSlam match.
I was just-
Survivor Series.
No, I didn't have as big a problem
Right.
with the Survivor Series match at Survivor Series, but this matchup on Raw, I felt was just
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't good. I'm just saying.
so. How about you, Tyler?
I'm in the same boat as y'all.
Okay, got a bruise now. Next up, we got to see
How
Damian.
about, can I say to the fans, like, wait till the match sucks before you shit on it. Even if you expect it to suck, like, wait till the match sucks before you shit on it. Because they immediately just started with their shit.
Automatically, man.
Before the match even started, people were shitting like on it.
Yeah.
And
The-
I don't like that one bit.
Um,
You okay?
Yeah. So the next matchup, we got to see Damian Sandow
Work it out.
going up against Dolph Ziggler in a fans pick the matchup, sort of a rematch from last week. This time, people picked a Hamptons hardcore match.
So I don't know. They can keep on doing stuff with him.
Well, it's 1-1 now, so next week we have to have the rubber match, right? I'm glad that Sandow at least grabbed the microphone and was like, I just want to make it known I am against this. I don't want to do this. So, because I think there are a lot of people who are like, I don't want to see you do this. Like, what happened to your newfound rage and all that? Like, I'm the uncrowned heavyweight champion. I should be in the picture hunt. I'm going to work towards it. And now I'm facing Dolph Ziggler in a gimmicky match. So, the Hamptons hardcore match. So, there were golf clubs and tennis rackets and other stuff. And he ends up defeating Dolph Ziggler this week. So, anything to really take away from the matchup?
No, not really.
Doug?
No.
Okay. So, next up, we got to see Punk and Bryan come out to the ring, talk about their matchup. You know, they can be called the best in the beard or, you know, Team GOAT.
what did-
greatest
yeah, I was
of
about to
all,
say, yeah.
greatest of
Turn-
all teams or
Yeah.
something like that. So, it was good
The
stuff.
goats.
They at least got the crowd going.
The
you know.
flying goats.
yes or no questions. I liked that Brian was like, "Wait a minute, that's not a yes or no question."
Hated it.
Yeah,
Hated it. Like, I'm happy for anybody who they clearly are having fun with what they're doing. Like, they're having fun, but in my opinion, like, their job right now is to get the Wyatts over because they're both over. They don't. It's not the other way around. Like, they're there to like get the Wyatts over, and I just thought like the way that the joking nature of the promo like made it seem like a fucking joke. Like, they're not worried about fighting the Wyatts, and if there's one team on this roster who you don't want to come across as a joke, is the Wyatts.
right.
I didn't like I don't. like I know that people like pop for the like, oh, he's gonna make another Colt Cabana reference, and that's cool, that's great, but not at the expense of like the Wyatts. Like, sure, I love Colt Cabana as much as anybody, but I listen to Colt Cabana's podcast and I buy shows Colt Cabana's on, and I fucking buy Colt Cabana's merch. That's how I support Colt Cabana. I don't want his fucking name drops like running my fucking programs on WWE TV. It's not a fucking joke. Like, take the Wyatt seriously. That's why you're there, to put those guys over.
Right.
I fucking couldn't stand it. I don't like them taking it so lightly.
I can see them having a reason to take it a little lightly just because they won their matchup the night before. So they're like, we got our win. Let's have some fun. I think
that's real unbecoming a babyface.
But I think what should have happened was the Wyatts just come out and just completely destroy them. Say, you want to take light of us? We're going to show you a reason not to. But,
maybe you have a point, but like for me, that's really unbecoming of babyfaces. I don't like that. And seriously, it probably wouldn't have been so bad if it was someone else. But if it's like one team that you don't want to make a joke of, is the Wyatts,
right?
Yeah,
that's why I would have them come out and say this. We're giving you a reason not to make light of us. Not to make fun of us or poke at us or anything. But
it really didn't sit right with me though.
Okay,
I like those dudes. Y'all know I like them, but
right,
it just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, just this one, at least this one instance. And it's always been that thing where when Punk is a face and he does those little nudges, hey, I know this guy and you might know this guy, so let's have a good time.
Well, that worked with the quote unquote pipe bomb. Like that worked with the theme of that promo.
Right.
But it's
no,
I'm out of place here.
I'm talking about his face run after after the pipe bomb, where he'd drop those little hint, nudge. Did you catch that? Yeah, it's just.
But Giddy's a big fan. We're big fans too.
Right.
So, but like I don't know.
Okay. But that did take us into the next matchup. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan going up against the entire Wyatt family in a 2-on-3 handicap match. This one ended up getting thrown out, or the Wyatts got disqualified. Whatever happened, the ref called for the bell. Couldn't get control of the matchup. I thought the matchup itself was okay, pretty good. Exciting stuff once again. But after the ref called for the bell, the Wyatts beat down CM Punk and then hauled Daniel Bryan away. And as Punk was trying to go after him, gets speared by Roman Reigns.
That's weird.
That did look like $1 million.
Yeah,
they
like
showed
that
it from
part.
the other angle, and it was like, whoa.
So, just good stuff from the Shield again.
Almost enough to make me forgive how much I hated the promo. Almost.
So the Shield attack CM Punk, give him the triple power bomb, and
I wonder where they're gonna go with that.
I don't know. I think it could be a way for them to split up CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, sort of like, okay, we teamed up for this one-time thing, and now our paths are going to cross.
What would that accomplish? Because they didn't put the Wyatts over.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go.
They're gonna do it where, like, I guess Shield and Wyatts they're in cross paths again because
who knows?
Do a Punk and you never know.
They're going to make CM Punk join the Shield. They're going to make Daniel Bryan join the Wyatt family, and it's going to be on 4
You
on
never know.
4.
Maybe next week, maybe like, hey, the Shield will beat up Bryan, and the Wyatts will beat up Punk, or maybe switch it around. I don't know.
Who knows? But one thing I didn't like was the backstage segment with Michael Strahan talking to Santino, and then Eric Rowan, I think it was, with the mask, the lamb mask, giving him. That was just awkward and weird. Like, this whole night, whatever comedy they were trying to go for, I think it completely missed the mark.
I was far less offended by that than the Miz TV segment.
Well, yeah.
Was it the pay-per-view or this Raw where they had who was fighting with the toys?
It was Santino and R-Truth. Then Los Matadores showed up. Then Fandango showed up. Then John Laurinaitis showed up.
Yeah. Was that the pay-per-view?
People power.
I think so.
Yes, it was. So
I think the pay-per-views is where they try to do the commercials, like in-house commercials, where they get the guys to do stuff.
yeah. Something to help fill time between matches.
And also the thing they were promoting on the pay-per-view and Raw was
Power.
Mrs.
ABC
Christmas
Family movie
show. Yeah, so watch that.
No, don't watch that.
And also that lady was on. Whoever
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
co-star is.
Whatever.
Ms.
I kind of like that. That's what I kind of liked how they were like joking around with each other, like co-star.
Yeah.
And she was like, it was like brother or sistery, like joking around about
Yeah.
the match. But I kind of like that was endearing to me. But
That's
Yeah.
that's an okay way to
Right.
use a guest.
yeah,
You know, like, oh, hey, man, you know, I know we've spent like 3 months shooting this movie or however long they
Right.
took doing it. Could have been a week for all I know. But it's like, oh, you know, we sort of had a bonding moment. You know, now I can talk to you like I would if the cameras were off.
right.
So it was
Weird.
interesting at least. But
Let's be honest. They probably shot that motherfucker in 2 days.
yeah.
It looks
But
bad.
look, dude, just one take it. Let's just go.
One
Come
take
on.
all the scenes.
We
We'll
have
get
to
done by tomorrow.
We have to film everything in the mall tonight, so let's just hurry through it. So that takes us into the next matchup: Miz going up against Kofi Kingston in a kickoff rematch. Got a little more attitude from Kofi. To be honest, I enjoyed this matchup more than their kickoff matchup, just because at first they tumbled to the corner, then to the other corner, and they were it was a little bit different style than what we normally see or normally would see from these two. Like it was a little more personal in this one, but it was still a Kofi and Miz match. But Miz ended up getting the victory. But what about you, Doug? What do you think?
I don't like these guys.
Okay, Tyler.
I didn't get to see this. I walked out on this match and the next one, Xavier Woods.
Okay, so like I said, Miz ended up getting the victory, and that takes us into the next match. R-Truth introducing Xavier Woods, saying, "Don't worry, we asked Brodus Clay's permission to do this. He gave us the blessing." He came out to Brodus Clay's theme music with the Funkadactyls and the pyro and all that, and I think he did a pretty good job with it.
I think his early dance.
Huh?
I think his early dance is better than Brodus. So.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Was it
No
kind
offense,
of weird
Brodus.
though? Even though he came out to Brodus's music.
not for me, because I think with his hairstyle and his facial hair and all that, it kind of goes with sort of a funky
Funk
feel.
band.
Yeah. So I think he did a little bit better job, and I like the fact that they had that backlight on him whenever he flicks his hair up and the water goes, and then the pyro goes off. Like I feel like that's a good visual. So yeah,
He's got a good look. I just don't like the tights. There's like too much going on.
too much action.
Although they made like the over 9,000 reference. I think that's a Dragon Ball Z thing, isn't it?
It's over 9,000.
Yeah.
So apparently it says that on his tights somewhere.
It's 1006.
Really?
Yep, kick his ass.
Does it say
Oh,
that
wait,
on his
I'm sorry. I had that upside down. 9001. You mean to say? Yep, it's over 9,000.
Where were they on his tights?
I'm assuming, and I know he screamed it out before he did the little kip up clothesline move that you like.
He WWE.com posted on Facebook a while back that before he made his debut he made himself on WWE 2K14 and he versed JBL, so they had a video of that, and
Did he win?
yeah, he won.
Okay, well that's all that matters. So, anyways, Xavier Woods ends up defeating Heath Slater, and that's about all from that match. And then backstage, we get to see the Bellas flirting with Michael Strahan as well as Eva Marie, and a lot of people
Flirt with that gap.
a lot of people like started backlashing on Brie Bella for this, because they're like, "Hey, I'm glad that you're so concerned that your boyfriend's been abducted by the Wyatt family that you're going to talk to Michael Strahan and get an autograph from him." So
pissed, and it's gonna be on the.
She didn't know.
He's gonna be pissed.
how could she not know? Was she not watching his match? No, she's too busy waiting in line to talk to Michael Strahan and get an autograph. So
Hey.
yeah.
Eventually, in one of the episodes, it's gonna be happening. Like, hey, my boyfriend's gone, but Michael
So
Strahan.
Daniel just up and left. I don't know why. I haven't seen him in weeks.
Can we say that like their worms are not that good? They don't even do it the right direction, do they?
Huh?
What?
Their worms that they do, they don't do it in the
Oh,
right direction.
Yeah.
Right? They do it
Because
backwards,
it's supposed to be,
like going forward.
yeah. And then they do it backwards.
Yeah.
They don't do it that
They
great
do
either.
chest to feet, where you're supposed to be feet to chest.
Yeah, so it's probably easier to do it the way they do it, right?
I would.
A-Bear can do it. Is it easier that way?
Yeah, do it.
I haven't done it backwards before. I
Would
never
you
tried.
assume that it was easier?
No, I'm just used to doing it forward, so
Yeah.
yeah, try it the other way. We'll do it one next time.
We'll do a video.
Yeah. So
Hey,
that's,
I've even seen someone do it on their back, do the worm on their back.
oh,
What?
Yeah. I've
How
seen
the
a
fuck
video
does
of
that work?
I don't know, but I've
very
seen
carefully. So that takes us.
I kind of love that Summer Rae was like, fuck it, I'm going to dance. Like, which is like, I can't.
I need to panic right here. So, but I need to gain composure and then do what I do best, and that's dance.
I know she did it on SummerSlam too, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
She was like, "Oh, I can do this." So that takes us into the main event: Cena and Big Show going up against Del Rio and Orton. I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but the reaction for Orton when he came out was just non-existent. Like his music played, and normally you hear cheers or you hear boos. I heard nothing.
crickets.
Like
I don't recall.
I mean,
Uh,
might have to go back and re-listen or rewatch. I heard nothing from that match. Like no reaction for Orton at all. Same with Del Rio. Del Rio came out and he looked like he didn't even care. Like he had the flag and he was just like, "Oh yeah, wave the flag, yeah." So which is understandable. He's pissed off that he didn't win his match at at Survivor Series. So you could use that, but it honestly looked like they just didn't care. So, but the matchup itself, it was okay. Told a story, because Big Show during the main event of Survivor Series got a punt from Randy Orton, got kicked in the head, and he started showing signs of it after a good kick from Del Rio. Looking all kind of dazed and confused, but he was like, "No, I can still go. I'm okay." And
I really don't know how I feel about that.
the whole dazed and confused thing.
No, I don't like how the stop the match and check on the guy during the match. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. I have mixed feelings because they did it during the Cena Lesnar match, and I like that match a whole hell of a lot. They
Yeah.
really like.
Because it was more like, "Oh crap, we've got blood and we need to clean it up."
Well, it felt no, it wasn't even like that because it just felt like it added like gravitas to the Lesnar Cena match. But this match it just really irritated me. It was just like.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
call,
hey, man, you
call
okay?
the fucking match or don't like say ref
Yeah.
stoppage or like let them continue to work on them. But I don't know. But I don't know why I feel like it gets a pass for me in the Cena Lesnar match and not here. I don't know I don't know. It just felt different then. It felt like they were.
I would think it would add more to realism. Like, dude, he might be seriously hurt. We need to, check and see if we need to stop this. Like, if he's going to lose too much blood, to where he'd pass out or something. Like, we need to check up on him. Whereas Big Show is just like, "Are you okay? Like, your eyes are looking kind of glazed over. Are you all right, dude? Like, what's going on?"
Well,
"Oh no, he's fine. Let him."
Are they trying to just like sell how bad the punt is?
I guess.
I guess it added to the Cena Lesnar stuff was helped by the fact that Cena let Lesnar potato him fucking for reals.
Yeah.
Before they stopped to check on him. Like if you're gonna let Lesnar hit you in the fucking face, okay, you can do what you want for a few minutes after that.
Right.
But but here it just came off so like I was like, the ref stoppage, call the match right there, say he can't continue. It was really annoying to me. I was like,
Say,
you
okay,
don't
roll to
give
the
him-
outside.
right.
Cena, we'll let this match continue while Cena works, but you need to tend to him first. And if you can continue, you can get back up on the ring.
Because what you're stopping the person from exploiting like the damage they've done. Like you're not letting him capitalize on the momentum he's gained in the match.
Yeah.
And that's weird. I think you either have to call the match. I'm giving this a double standard. I fully realize that because I loved it in the Cena Lesnar match, and it really irritated me here. I'm just saying, like, I got mixed feelings.
Right. That's fine.
Basically, you have to let Lesnar punch you in the face if you're gonna for real. If you're gonna,
If you want to have the doc take a look at you, you need to either have a heart attack like Jerry Lawler, you need to get potatoed by Brock Lesnar, you need to get handcuffed and hit over the head like Mankind. Although they didn't look at him, it was after.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it needs to be legit. So, so Cena and Big Show end up defeating Del Rio and Orton. After the matchup, Del Rio tried to attack Cena, and then Orton attacked him with the belt and held his belt and Cena's belt over because he has longer arms, and that's how we
Yeah,
closed
long
out.
arms.
Yeah, we closed it
Yes.
out. So
I'm not just real quick. I'm not discrediting that as a finish. I will buy that as a finish. I will say
if it had been a finish, but
Yeah.
they let it continue.
if they say ref he can't compete, I'll say fine. That's the finish.
yeah,
I can buy into that.
say Cena, do you want to go
Right.
2-on-1 or do you want to end this matchup? So, give them an option at least. Come on now.
Yeah, come on.
So, come on, man. And now something I know you guys are ready to talk about is this week's special segment.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
Hey, stop pointing at me.
It's your cue.
Don't cue me. Cue you. Cue not you.
Cute.
Cute 94.
Yeah. So like this week's Total Divas was like really really good.
Awesome.
It was awesome. It
I
was
watched
probably
it.
one of the best ever. A-Bear watched.
Yes.
We're gonna let A-Bear start.
Okay. I'm gonna
Pick some.
all three storylines were great. I'm gonna, in my opinion, save the best for last.
What are we saving for last?
That is on Adri. I forgot Funkadactyl. What's her name? What's her name?
Which one?
With Vinny, her boyfriend.
Ariane?
Vinny. Yeah, Ariane. I like that one. I'm gonna say that one for last.
Okay.
But they're all great. I just saying. But I'm gonna
Pick one
start
to
with Nikki and John Cena.
Okay.
Okay, so it continues from last episode where she's leaving the house. She pulls over on the street or whatever, and she calls her sister, I believe, to talk about, hey, what just happened? John just, out of nowhere gave me a contract, and she read all the details to him, or to her sister, and they're like, what? I can't believe he did that. And what else did they say?
Yeah, she called her mom too. Like later, they were both.
Yeah.
Her mom was kind of level-headed about it, but like she was like, Bree was kind of like, that's fucked, which I think is the right thing for her to say.
Which was weird, because at that point she was like that, but later in the episode she was like kind of level head, like you need to talk to John. And that was, I don't know, it was different. Her sister was different later on in the episode.
Yeah, but I think you'd probably like react like that. Anyone,
Yeah.
like getting your sister's back kind of stuff.
Well, so she, throughout the episode, she's been distant with John. She got a hotel.
Yep.
Herself. I'm trying to remember some other stuff because she talked to her mom. Is there something between that I'm missing?
Can't remember. I'm a little hazy now.
Her mom straightened and laid some stuff out, to
Yeah.
her, and then she talked to her sister.
Again.
And her sister was like, "Hey, have you talked to John?" Like, no, it's like you need to get on that. And then she finally talks to John, and they go out to a restaurant, and he tells her, this lays it out. This is why I did this, because he protects his family. He pays for a lot of stuff.
Bought his parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
His brother lives with his parents, and him and his wife have like a child on the way, and he has another brother with like health problems and something like that, and like he takes care of his family, which is a good stand-up thing to do.
Yeah.
Something you would probably expect someone who makes a lot of money to do. I think that's respectable, but I don't think it excuses him from like asking her to like sign a contract or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's still like you're like he basically said, like, he explained it as like, yo, things are great right now, but you could turn out to be a psycho tomorrow, and I never know.
I'm not saying that it's like I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but you
Right.
never know. It's bad past experience, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess maybe like I'm coming at it from a perspective of a guy who doesn't have anything that a woman would want.
And also, she said
That sounds really terrible. Like, I don't have a bunch of money or cars or anything, but still, I kind of feel like, well, then be sure about who you want to like be with, or whatever. It's still kind of shitty. You're like, just in case, I don't know. I thought she was like, oh my God, I didn't know my man had all that going on. And she was like, oh my God, he's such a stand-up guy. I can't believe I was being such a bitch about it. But she wasn't. She was like totally normal, reacting like a human being would act. And I still think she's right, like,
Yeah.
he's fucking up.
And, she said that, I don't want any of his stuff, even if something happened. Because part of the contract is, because if something happens and he tells you he don't want you on the property, you have to get out and, yes, get all your shit and pack it out.
Yeah. But, I thought it was weird. I guess he's protecting himself from the common law marriage thing we were talking about last week. I guess that's what.
Yeah.
They don't say that, but I assume that's what the thing was. But yeah, it still seems kind of fucked up of him, even if he's taking care of people. I disagree still.
And at the end, and what they said if they got married.
Well, he was like, hypothetically, what would be like your stipulations for like getting married or whatever, and she was just like, you have to fuck me every day and like oral
kisses. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And he was like, she's like, oh, I want to kiss right now. And he's like, well, are you 15 or whatever?
Yeah.
He said that or whatever. Which, that's fine. I mean, that's cool. She was totally right. He was wrong. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
No, there's 4 storylines.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on.
The only storyline, the person who didn't get really think was JoJo.
What did Eva Maria do?
Eva Maria was
she's
trying
involved
to learn
in
from.
Yeah.
So okay, there's storyline with TJ and Natalia, and
basically Eva Marie asked TJ to show her like some moves, and she's like, "Oh, I really respect Natalia and shit. Like, she's like my idol or something like crazy like that." And she was like, "I just want to get better in the ring and like learn my craft or whatever." Blah blah blah. So he's he's like trading her, showing her some stuff in the ring or whatever, and Natalia walks in and she was like, "What the fuck?"
It was hilarious.
No, she ain't.
She goes, she don't even have a bra on. She's putting her boobs in his face, and like, cause she she kept on doing what was that choke? No,
I was just doing headlocks and
headlocks,
like, chin locks, and
and he kept on doing all that stuff, and she freaks out. She freaks out.
She like flips the fuck. Natalia's her. Look, we understand that this is like a reality show, and these are even
scripted reality.
Yeah, it's like it's still, these are still characters they're portraying, or it's been edited to portray them this way. But the character of Natalia on this show has been like insecure person who's
very
like
much so
insecure about her relationship and insecure about her spot in the company, like nonstop. And she was like, "Fuck no, she ain't fucking rolling around with my man, no bra on, boobs popping around, like." Headlocks and shit. And she was like, not fucking having it. This is bullshit. And
she goes and gets. Well, okay, actually,
then
first
she's just kind of like, what the fuck's up? And she's like, this is bullshit, whatever. But then like
she lets it go, but they're at home though.
Yeah, and he's like, do you want to go? They're like, they were getting ready to go work out together and like have lunch or whatever. And he's like, well, actually, I was gonna go to the performance center. And he's like, I was gonna train with Eva, and she was like, oh, okay, you want to do that? But like doing like really
paranoid,
passive aggressive, like hostility towards him. And he's like, okay, so I'm gonna do that then. So then she shows up and like they're doing it and like talks about her boobs some more, like and then she's kind of like, no, this ain't fucking happening. She's like, that's it, I'm gonna do something. There's like 2 rings. There's probably more, but they show like 2 rings of it. And she's like looking around for. She's like, where's Fandango? Yeah. I like how Fandango's like a background character on the show. Yeah. Like he doesn't have a real name like everybody else. He's just like the shitty guy who people want to like use. Like
it cracks me up because like the term for them to like practice is roll around.
Yeah.
You want to roll around? And he's like, yeah, sure. So TJ and Eva Marie is in one ring, and then
this is
Natalia,
like the most epic moment of the show. Yeah. And this is like the penultimate like part of the whole series so far is this showdown right here.
Because she's doing it's like, oh yeah, we need to. Well, I need to work on this because they say I'm getting rusty or whatever.
She's like, just get my cardio up and like
She's like, well, they're doing all this stuff, and then finally,
so they're like there's like dueling shots of them like Fandango and Natalia and like TJ and Eva Marie like doing like running spots and shit and whatever. And it's like they're like you can tell they're kind of like aggressively looking at each other like as they're doing shit and like they're trying to go like Natalia starts trying to like sexy it up to like make him looking, and TJ's like stops, and then now he's like, what the fuck, dude? She's like, you know that's my wife, right? Like blah blah whatever, like all this shit, and like
he's like, what it was a Fandango's like, oh, I can't practice at him like shouting and cursing at me.
He's like, oh, why is he taking his shirt off?
Is the air conditioner over there not working, or the fan
So
not
then
working?
TJ takes his shirt off, so they both have their shirts off.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's like, oh yeah, the air conditioner, whatever, is not working over here. I'm taking my shirt off too, and like, it's funny.
Oh, it's so hot and sweaty.
And Eva's like, what the hell's going on?
And Fandango and Eva are both like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah, it is quite comical.
Yeah,
But,
and he was like, oh, and then TJ, like, on the way out, like, TJ's like, fuck this, I'm out. And he's like, peace. But on the, before, like, as he's walking out, I was like, hope we don't have to work anytime soon, Fandango. Like, he's going to shoot on him if they get a fucking match or something. It was pretty fucking awesome. It's one of the best moments of the show so far. Super entertaining, super fun.
Yeah, I like that. And then later on at their house, they make up.
Yeah.
And
He's like, you're stupid. And she's like, yeah, I'm stupid. What's going on?
yeah, that's pretty much.
You got the Brie Daniel Bryan stuff. Basically, he's doing like super publicity because Cena's out, and he's like the publicity guy now. He's doing all the interviews and all the shit, and like they try to go to lunch, and like he's, you know, they're trying to eat lunch, and they keep calling him. He's like, oh, I like how he calls the phone interview. He's like, I got a phoner. And so he has to do a couple of phone interviews, and by the time he's done, he's like, I'm sorry, I had to whatever. And she's like being really passive aggressive, like angry towards him, like, what the fuck, you left me hanging. Like, we haven't seen each other in days, and we just wanted to have like dinner together or whatever.
Well, they haven't dinner. What cracks me up is she's pissed off, and he was like, is this homegrown or is this right here? He's like, because they're eating the salad and all stuff. This is good. And she's like, I don't know.
She's like, I don't know. Fuck you, man. So, I hope you die. But and then like they get in an argument in the car about him like doing stuff, and he's like, you know, if I got to do something, I got to do something. You know, like it's like whatever. And
You are a grown ass woman.
I don't know. Like later in the show, they're on the phone. He's like, he was supposed to be home, but he had to like stay to do some shit or whatever. And he's like, and she's like, whatever. And he's like, I know. He's like, I'll make it up to you. How's he said he was going to take her to like a romantic dinner. Or whatever. She's like, well, how are you going to make it up to Josie? He's like, I'm going to scratch her ass like it's never been scratched
before. Yeah.
That fucking dog is so cute. I love that dog. I was like, I want that dog. Oh, did y'all know his dog Asparagus passed away? Like,
Heard about that.
That's sad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Asparagus the wonder dog. R.I.P.
He said it was in an interview. He said every championship title he had won, he took a picture with that dog.
Oh.
So, kind of sad.
It's kind of like a. She was like a lab, I think. Like a golden lab or something. I don't know. It's a cute dog. That's sad. R.I.P. Asparagus.
And
We dedicate the memory of this show. This show is dedicated to the memory of Asparagus.
And this part of the video for our show on YouTube, you can find a picture of Asparagus and put it on there. But no,
I have to talk to Ben about that.
Nikki and Bree talk, and
I like this. What I love about this is like whenever she calls Bree about John,
they're both. Yeah,
Bree is like, "Fuck that dude. He is fucking up." But when Nikki talks to Bree about John, she's like, "You're a bitch to him."
Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're right, and all that stuff, and they make up because when he finally comes home and all that stuff, and they make up, and he's like, "Yeah, make me a sandwich, woman," and he goes, "I'm taking my pants off."
No, she was like, I'm gonna make you a sandwich, but because I was already gonna make him a sandwich, not because he called me one."
That ends that storyline.
That'll be the end of this week's.
No.
No.
Whoa, sorry. Please continue.
So okay, so Ariane and Vincent, you know,
Yeah.
our dude, our homie, doesn't get enough love, doesn't get enough respect, in more ways than one. So anyways, apparently Ariane assumes that, I guess, that she has endometriosis, which I don't think was actually like diagnosed.
Yeah,
she kind of like self-diagnosed it.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I assume like, I think one of the parts of that is that sex is painful for women. And so she's like, she considers herself not to be a very sexual person. And
she says that his wiener is too big, and
she
he
also
needs to
says
have
he
a
has-
smaller wiener.
Yes. And I like the way that he so like innocently was like, babe, what do you want me to, you know how he's always like,
like,
babe,
God.
wait, what do you want me to do? It's like,
God.
babe, it's like, God, can I get a smaller wiener? He's like,
Wiener?
that's not how it works, babe. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, it cracks me up. And she's in the bed whining.
Oh, she's whining? What if your vagina was all hurting and shit? Huh?
Let me check it.
Have some sympathy. Have some sympathy.
It's him, but with a vagina.
But anyway, so there, he was like, babe, it's been like 4 weeks. He's like, can we like try and do something or whatever? She's like, I'm just not into it. I'm tired. She's like, I'm not having it. No soup for you. But she was like, so apparently like it's a thing. She thinks she has endometriosis, or she self-diagnosed herself as having endometriosis, and like they don't have sex a lot. She doesn't consider herself a sexual person. He has a big dick. All these are contributing factors to them not having sex. Their sex life is in the
he
dump.
has a big dick.
She says big weenie or
Big
weenie
weenie.
or something like that.
Was the next thing that she was
So
talking to?
Well, they go to the therapist, right?
No. They talked to Naomi before.
Will you
Or she talks to Naomi.
Take it away.
And what cracks me up is because she told Naomi about their problems, and she goes, "Man, it's like, when's the last time you did it?" And it's like, what, 4 weeks or whatever like that. And she goes, "What? It has to be." It's like, you gotta give him some, and he's gonna be grumpy. It's like, that's why. It's like, you're grumpy too. And he's like,
She's like, that's all with John. She's
yeah, it's like 2 days, and like it's like come on. And that's what she says. She's like, you're grumpy. It's like, you need to get some. But then she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the doctor and get it.
Well, they don't go.
problem.
Well, they don't go. I don't think they go to like a clinical doctor. They go to like a sex therapist, I believe. And she's kind of like asking him about shit. And
But they go to a doctor though, and they check her.
oh, that's
vagina.
right. They did. You're like, yeah, dude. They remember they checked her vagina.
She felt awkward.
Was it a
about
blurred cookie moment?
They did say
No.
cookie. She did say cookie.
said
It's like, you
cookie.
need to give him the cookie.
Oh, do you know how she always says thebomb.com? What was the one? She had a variation. Even Vincent said it in this one. He's like, her catchphrase was like, babe, it's thebomb.com, babe.
Yeah.
I love you, Vincent. He's the best dude on the show. He's awesome. Babe, what do you want me to do? What was the one that they always do bomb.com, but what was the new one they did?
I
The
can't remember.
something.com. There was a new .com today. Oh, we got to watch it back. I meant to remember that.
But she went to the doctor, and
They didn't find endometriosis. They
She
put the
fe-
wand in her.
yeah. And the doctor's like, yeah, that's why we put condoms, so you don't get pregnant from this thing. Like, oh, just joking.
That's a little Dr. Humor.
And, oh yeah, she goes, I'm sorry, doc, I haven't shaved in a while.
Like, it is not cute. God, I wish I could remember the other. If you can remember the other one, not the bomb.com, but that she did a different .com this time, and I need to remember that one. But yeah. So basically, she's like, you don't have it, so it might all be in your head. You need to go see someone. So she goes to a sex therapist. Kind of talk to her about what she's into, what she's not into.
She kind of felt embarrassed.
Yeah. She's like short tempered and embarrassed, and like Vincent as always is like super support. It's like, babe, come on, you gotta, babe, talk to the people. So it's like he's like talking to her.
Like,
and
how many times do you masturbate, and how many times do
she's
you,
like, never, ever. She's like, I don't do it.
y'all role play, or
And she was
do
like-
you strip in front of him?
She was like, yeah, and she was like getting all weird about it or whatever. You could tell he was uncomfortable. He was like trying to make the best of it,
yeah.
And then like she was like, well, does he have a big dick or whatever? He's like, I think I have. Babe, what do you want me to do? Babe? I think I have a big dick, babe.
He cracks me up. Vinny.
And she basically was like, you need to experiment and figure out what you like, because if you can't like please yourself, you can't expect someone else to be pleasing you. You gotta like find out what's up. You guys need to experiment or whatever. And so they leave and whatever, and like I guess she comes back from a trip or whatever, or like a show or something, and he's like, babe, I got some
He
stuff.
has like 3
Hey,
vibrators.
So he brings like all the stuff that she like told them to experiment, whatever. He has like 85 vibrators and like a whip and like all kinds of like sex toy shit, and he's like, we're gonna try it out or whatever. Pretty much.
and she kept on whipping Vinny.
Yeah, so she liked the whip. She was into it. She said it's like a dominatrix thing, and maybe she likes that. So you should probably go out of your way to see this episode if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Is
good.
what we're saying. This is like the best episode so far.
And the fact that they've been renewed for a second season.
Yeah. So highest recommendation possible.
What's on the preview for next week?
Vinny?
Vincent,
Yeah.
Vincent's gonna become a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
gosh.
like she convinces him. She's like, I think you could be I think you could be a superstar, honey, or whatever. And then they just show him doing like fucking drills, build them on it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad for poor old Vincent. Hey, what do you
Like you're part of the show. You gotta do something else.
If you're going to be in this group, you got to be in the group.
Yeah.
in her cookie.
And the cookie.
In her cookie.
In her cookie. So there you go. Well, thanks, guys. Certainly appreciate the
Great
excitement. Yeah. So,
You at least need to watch this episode.
yeah, we'll see about that.
I bet Kelsey's watching.
Go out
it.
of your way to see this.
Kelsey
one,
did
guys.
watch the episode. I walked in from the Survivor Series, and she was like, "Oh, you just missed me watching."
What part did you walk in on?
It was like the end credits, so it was already over. But she was like, "Oh, you just missed it." I'm like, "Oh, shucks." So time to move into some hot topics for you. In case you didn't hear, Dynamite Kid suffered a stroke, but he is expected to recover. So hopefully all the best to you. The Slammy Awards are going to be coming to us in 2 weeks. The go-home show for TLC. That's how they're going to spend it. So, Slammy Awards. So, they're going to completely distract you. In WWE 2K14 news, second DLC pack heading your way. Tyler, you want to cover this, or you want me to run through it?
Oh, it don't matter. You can run through it.
Okay. Expected names to come out. Summer Rae, free of charge. Fandango, Big E Langston, the Bella Twins, and you're also getting 30 new moves and taunts.
I don't know if my Xbox Live gold membership is expired, but
Did you get an email stating that it was? Are you able to access Xbox Live?
yeah. Well, I haven't
Online?
been on there.
Babe, what do you want me to do? Renew my Xbox Live subscription?
Give me a small wiener. Yeah, I'm gonna check it and download that tonight. Not the small wiener, but the DLC.
Oh, I want to interview Vincent so bad.
Dude, that'd be
we,
so
should,
cool.
we should try to. We should reach out
Oh, we want Vinny.
to. He can't do it until the show's over. You know
Yeah.
that. We're gonna try for a Vincent interview.
Don't point at me.
Send some emails. Get on emails, Daniel.
Yes.
That's all you guys. That's your
You gotta set
client.
it up. We'll handle the interview, but you have to set it up.
All right. Well, no, I mean this is y'all's guy. Y'all got to contact him and give him the sales pitch.
I don't know. Can we realistically do that? Because the whole time we're like, "Yo, your girlfriend doesn't treat you right,
The
bro."
whole time we're talking about our girlfriend the whole time.
Yeah,
Let's
this
talk about
man-
your wiener, man.
So what's it like?
What was it like?
Has it gotten smaller since the episode aired?
Did God answer
Did
you?
God
Give
answer
you a
your
small-
prayer and you get a smaller wiener?
I guess we couldn't really do an interview because we'd be talking about his girlfriend the whole time. Like, yo, she didn't treat you right, dude. Why are you still with her?
For the show.
Anyway, it's time to move into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. Question coming to us from Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Saying we all saw how dominant Roman Reigns was during Survivor Series, and many people are speculating that he will be one of the big stars of the future. So who do you predict will be some of the top guys of the future, not including people who have already held a world title?
Cesaro, yo.
Cesaro, okay. Is that it?
Well, I thought someone else might say who.
Oh, okay. Tyler?
I'm thinking.
Ambrose, Reigns?
Yeah.
Um,
Ambrose.
Oh, we missed a bunch of feedback. Did you know that?
did we? Was it on the
Facebook.
on the Facebook page? Okay. We can pull that up. Anyone?
Big E.
Big E Langston? Could be a big guy.
Biggie, Biggie,
for the future.
Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. I just love your flashy ways.
We should have that as outro.
I can hit you with real millionaire shit.
Yeah.
As car go, my car go. 150 swiftly. Wreck it by a new one. Your crew run, run, run. Your crew run, run. I know you sick of this name brand with. I gotta bleep myself. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Appreciate it. Don't want to offend anybody. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, earlier in the show, I feel like the future is bright. So you never know. You never know who's going to be
A
stepping
lot
up.
of people from NXT is going to be stepping up.
Yeah, people from NXT could be coming up here in the next few months, maybe within the next year. Get to see Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah.
That'd be nice.
When is Evan Bourne returning?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
He's going to get released.
Oh, how could we fucking forget Norman Smiley appearance on fucking Total Divas?
Norman Smiley. And they had what's it called? Cassius Ohno in the background.
Yeah.
Aww.
Norman Smiley
Yeah.
on Total Divas. Fucking go get it, people. Go watch it.
So there you go. Should we go into the feedback we have on our Facebook page?
Let's tie it up so we don't have anything left over.
Okay.
I hear it. Do you want me to read off? I got it right here.
Yeah, go ahead. 'Cause
Okay.
This computer's being...
Seth Rickson.
Yeah.
There you
Listened to this last night before I watched the pay-per-view today. I have to say this, while I do not like Cena, I have to agree with Doug. I mean, it's like debating on which is better, pizza or a burrito. Each person has their own taste. The only kind of shitty thing I can say about Cena is that I think him being the face is holding back others that need to move up and grow so that they can hold the WWE when Cena is out of the picture. Even that's not Cena's fault, it's the Fed's fault. And he said, oh, and WWE gave us the stanky dick with that pay-per-view.
I'm giving your wife the stanky dick.
Oh, gotta love the feedback.
Stings Like Ali, our boy Ali, says he actually answered the questions that we were like, hey, do you would you do all this the shit
Would you
about
watch
Total
the
Divas?
surgery?
Yeah. He said he would not watch the surgery. He said he's had a total of 9 surgeries in his lifetime.
Damn.
And he hates them. He's got cerebral palsy, so there's no way he would watch them. And said number 2, no, John Cena is not justified in asking Nikki to sign the agreement because he asked her to move in. And 3, if he was Nikki, he would leave him 100%. And he said, side note, Tyler, keep your shoes on because he also hates feet. Yes, put your fucking shoes on. You don't have shoes on right now, do you?
Yeah, I do.
You didn't a minute ago. You were like, oh, look at my feet. Like,
Got those little... They're not...
Toms.
They're
Yeah.
Toms. Okay, Ollie, I will.
Thank you, Ali. Thanks for setting that pool straight. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, my buddy Rich has CP, and you should go check him out on Facebook. It's like Richard Hanley, disabled athlete. He was actually on a show. He was with the episode with Lowry, and
When it cut out, like, as soon as we got done talking about
oh
the
yeah. So I
program.
don't know if he's actually he was here.
He's
hanging
been
out for
on
that
other
show.
episodes too.
Just that one. But
What? No, I thought there was another one he was on.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the science, and I'm not suggesting whatever, but he did some. It wasn't Kickstarter, but it was like one of the other ones that isn't Kickstarter. I forget which one
Like
it was.
Indiegogo or something.
It's something like that. It was like a health related one where he like actually raised some funds to get like stem cells, I think, and I think it's helped him a lot. I don't know. Go check him out. You should holler at Richard Hanley, disabled athlete on Facebook. He is also has CP. So, and last one, Brian Massey says, I enjoy listening to the show, but all the constant and like and filler words pretty much every 5 seconds gets pretty annoying fast. Just saying.
Well, it's just one of those things. I don't know. You're trying to find the certain words. It's interesting,
Well,
to say the least.
here's the thing, like Daniel's way better at it than we are because Daniel speaks professionally for a living. So, that's why he's so much better at it than we are. He's got a lot more practice, and that's why he's better than we are at that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I have a good grasp on what podcasting is all about because I listen to a ton of podcasts and I co-host one. So I will say that
We don't claim to be professionals. We're just guys talking. That's it.
well, what people don't understand is a lot of people spend hours and hours editing their shows, and they take out all the pauses and they take out all the little miswords and shit like that. We don't do that. It's like
we hit
one take.
record.
We hit record.
And then whenever we're done, we hit stop.
Yeah.
And then we add the music intro. We add the jingle for Total Divas. And that's it.
At the beginning, you used to take out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, there's no need for Daniel to be like editing for like 3 hours for like our show every week. It's
Especially
like,
when I have to, we all have work the next day.
Yeah.
It would take too long and just
like,
besides, this is who we are.
yeah, like if we had our like download files behind a pay window, or like we were trying to like, we're asking you for money if we're promoting something else, maybe I could understand like you think that we should like professional it up a little bit, but it's not really what we do.
We are us.
Yeah.
We are WNS.
We are.
Do you ever
Youth of the
you
Nation?
get the feeling like like the past 2 weeks we've had people who are like really like the show, except for here's something that happens over 95% of the show. like what was the dude last week? He was like, really love the show, can't stand Doug, who talks over like 95% of the show. And then this guy's like, really like the show, but you guys are really annoying me every 5 seconds. I'm like, you guys really like the show? Because those are things that happen through the whole show. I don't think you actually like the show. Maybe you don't. That's okay. I don't know.
Well, I can understand where he's coming from, because like you could listen to a different show and there'll just be certain things that someone will say, or even the way someone laughs, or the way they set up a joke or something like that. It's just something that just irks you the wrong way. I get it,
No, what I was playing for was like, these dudes were like, we really like the show except for these things.
I love the show except for all this.
Yeah, except for 95% of what happens on it.
Except for the way you talk. If you could just not talk during your show, that would be fantastic. So
But that's cool.
Fantastic.
We appreciate you weighing in.
and thank you for listening at least.
Yeah, thank you. No ill will, no hard feelings.
Just clarifying.
Yeah, I don't speak well. I've said as much many times. I'm not a great speaker.
Yeah. So there you go. So, but thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe to our shows.
Jesus, we're having a marathon show today.
I know we're going the distance on this one. So,
Dun, dun, dun,
Hells
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
yes, love that song. So, don't forget to check us out. WNS Podcast on Facebook. WNS Video on YouTube. You can check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com. WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, which just surpassed 200,000 likes. Earlier this month, they passed 100,000. So,
Yeah.
pretty insane.
I thought you were talking about us for a second. Like, we don't have 2,000.
No,
200,000
We're
likes.
we're nowhere close to that. We're like
Surprise!
we're like in the 2,600 right now. So we're
Which means if you don't like our page, you should go like our page, because it's really motivating for us to see those likes go up.
yeah, it's really cool to see all those people. So yeah, subscribe to our show on iTunes. Search Wrestling News Source Podcast on there. Give us a little review and rating. We would certainly appreciate it. Let us know what you think of the show, where you're
Stitcher as
listening
well.
from as well. If you're listening outside of the United States and you're using iTunes to write a review, please let us know so that we can make sure to get that covered, because for the longest time we didn't even know that you could check other countries on iTunes. We figured out how to do it. So, please let us know if you're listening and leave a review outside of the US.
WNS Podcast on Twitter and WN Source for the main site.
Yeah, t-shirt. People we owe t-shirts to. I was forced to work today, which was my only off day this week, which was my only day to ship you shirts, and I'm gonna get it done. We're good for it. We will get you your shit. I think, did you message the other dude about
Yes.
Okay, so we have 2 of them. We're gonna get clarification on the third guy. Hopefully next week they go out, dudes. I'll get you shirts, I promise. And yeah, check us out on Stitcher as well. And thanks, guys.
There you go. So for the podcast crew, I am Daniel Herron,
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
and we will catch you all next week.